Today, we're going to be taking a look at the 2021 Audi RS7 and what an RS7 it is. Newly facelifted for the 2021 year. Looks fantastic. We're going to be doing an in-depth exterior review of this car. In a separate video, we're going to be doing an in-depth interior review. And before we get started, I'd really like to thank Paul Miller Audi of Route 46 for setting this car up. And if you guys are in the market for a new Audi or any used Audi, please look at Paul Miller Audi on Route 46 and make sure you mention that F90 sent you and talk to Nicholas Moy. Now, just taking a quick walk around first, this car looks so aggressive and very menacing. With the new lines that they've done for 2021, I am a huge fan. Audi styling usually is pretty subtle, but here they're very aggressive. The black with the silver rims with the red calipers really pops very nicely. And as with most RS7s, you have that slope back roof, or should I say synonymous with RS7 slope back roof. It really works very well with this car, and this is a large car. Quick peek at the headlights in the back, and as well as those exhausts, which we'll go over. It looks very menacing. Taking a look at the front bumper, you guys can see how aggressive they made this front bumper in the 2021 RS7 as well as RS6s. And you know, this does have a black optics package, so everything is black on black, but it looks very menacing the way they made the entire grille, as well as where the fog lights are. Everything's very sharp and angular and cut in a menacing way. Taking a look at the grille itself here, we have the black octagons that's synonymous with Audis. We also have the radar here in the front and both sides of the Audi badge. And again, a black optics package, so we have everything blacked out on a black car. It'd pop a little bit more if it had a better color, but just moving across the grille, you can see how nice they've made these honeycombs and how they've evolved them over time. We have the camera in the middle, which is really nice compared to some Mercedes. Again, taking a look at the radar sight on the right side, a little bit closer look at the hexagonals. Very, very nice. These things really look very, very awesome. Now taking a look a little bit above the grille, there's these little vents up top, which are just for show. They just get a little bit more of aggressiveness, but they're just for looks. They don't really do anything. Taking a look at the right side here where the fog lights are, we have the hexagonal shape coming through, and we actually do have holes there, so that's going to be functional for cooling. We do have our sensor above there. Just me putting my finger through to show you guys that it is functional, it's not fake. Looking on the left side as well, also the same thing, sensor, as well as the hexagonal holes cut there, so you're able to, you know, the car has cooling. There you go, it's functional. Put my finger through, get a closer look at those hexagonal shapes, and then moving across, we're going to be going down here, looking at that cut across, and then moving down to the bottom here. We have the bottom splitter where we have the nice vertical slats for the diffuser. It really ties this car in very nicely, and everything is functional except for those top vents. Then checking here on the left side, there's supposed to be cooling ducts for the brakes. However, I couldn't really find an opening through here that goes to the brakes. Maybe it's just for show. It's really the same thing here on the right side. I was trying to find if there's an opening. Maybe it's very small, but I couldn't tell at all if it actually does go to the brakes or if it's just a minimal amount. It looks like it's not enough of an opening in order to actually go and cool the brakes effectively, so it might just be for show. Now taking a closer look at the HD Matrix design headlights. So these are Audi's laser light and high beam assist lights. They look very nice in person, and those kind of slats that you see, those actually are the daytime running lights. So that's what's going to be lit up when you're driving around, is those vertical slats that you see. They're kind of angled on a diagonal as well. We have the actual light itself on the inside there on both sides of the bulbs, and since these are laser lights, we do have the sticker in that blue little section that shows you that these are actually indeed laser lights. Very, very cool looking. Just to show you guys what these lights look like on, because they are fantastic, and don't worry about those little gray rays going across. That's just what happens when you turn on the camera. You have your indicator there. This is what it looks like when it's on. So you have the daytime running lights as well as just the regular headlights. I'm gonna move out here just to show you guys what it looks like with both of them on. Try to focus it in. Here we can see how much the front fender actually sticks out. This is an RS7 model, so you're going to have a wider stance than you will with an A7, and it's the same thing sort of in the rear, which we'll look at too. Here we have the front rims. So these wheels are huge. These are 22s, so the fronts have 265 30 22s on them. We're going to take an even closer look here at the rims. Very different design, very nice. It really fits the car here. Look at the rotor as well as the vanes in the back. Kind of see them what this looks like. Kind of a grid pattern, little divots in the rim itself. We have the red caliper holding on to these, you know, slowing down this massive car. the front fender here, we have another sensor on the side. No real badging, just kind of the bulginess here that we have for the wheel arch, but no real symbols or anything on the side here. Just looking at the hood, we see how detailed the hood actually is with the lines going across. Usually the RS7 and AMG models have a bunch of lines across the hood just to show how beefy the car actually is. So we have 2 on the right side there and 2 on the left side. It's pretty interesting once you get really close to it to see how much you could see there, how it looks like it was almost as if the front part of the hood is actually raised compared to the sides, the actual ends of the car. And you see how dramatic the actual curves of the car on the hood, or should I say the curves on the hood actually are. Taking a look underneath the hood to see what drives this Audi RS7. We have a twin-turbo 4-liter V8, which is actually paired with a 48-volt hybrid system. And it's mounted to an 8-speed automatic transmission, not a dual clutch. It should be a ZF Auto, and of course, quattro all-wheel drive. The RS7 makes 591 horsepower and 590 pound-feet of torque. So good for 0 to 60 in about 3 seconds, which is really nice. Taking a closer look, we have a ECU here on the side. We have the latches. We have the laser light sticker on top, showing these are laser lights for the headlights. We have our intakes here, as well as the shielding that goes on top of the engine. Very nice looking, very presentable. And then close look down there. So again, this is another hot V setup with the turbos on the inside. Some warning stickers as well. Taking a look at the side, you can't really see too much. This only 4-liter, pretty small for a V8. And we also have a positive terminal here, so if you need to get a jump or if you want to jump someone else's car, and windshield washer fluid over there, a reservoir. And that is really it for the hood. Take a look at the side profile of the Audi RS7 again. It is a large car, sedan, but we do have the sportback look in the back. So taking a look at the front door, not much really going on. We do have the line that is right there next to the handles, as well as on the bottom. Looking at the slope roof here now too, going all the way to the back, which will cover the rear fenders a little bit more, in a little more detail a little bit later. Now, looking here very closely at that line that I was mentioning here in the beginning that goes all the way across from the front all the way to the rear, and then that actually ends right here at the mirror, and the one right below starts at the front fender, and then goes through the door handles, and the one at the bottom starts all the way midway through and goes all the way through past the 2 doors. And then we have the side skirt on the bottom, which is interesting because they actually add a little inlay on the bottom here that's kind of separate from the actual side skirt itself, and it gives it, this part would actually be black on a black optics package, so if the car was a different color. Looking at the mirrors, very nicely done. We also have the indicator there on the bottom, which will turn on as well. You can see the pearlescent paint here. Very nice. Nothing too crazy, pretty standard, but it's a nice looking mirror. We also have our blind spot monitoring in there. And here's our indicator, just a closer look. And we also have our camera here on the bottom. Just a closer look at the door handle here. We have easy exit and entry here. Just put your hand on the handle, it opens up, or press the little button there on the right and it'll close. Look at the windshield here, which the dome isn't as big, but that's where all the radar is sent, and also the lane sensing and all that other stuff is right there, right above the mirror on the windshield. Here we take a closer look at the roof itself, quite a long roof. So you can see this part's going up. That's because I actually have the sunroof here tilted up. So it's all one piece of glass that you see there, or it looks like glass, but it's actually not. It's actually just the body color, but it looks very nice. And then all the way from the back, you can see how much of that roof actually does go up. So very cool. Here we're just going to start off with the A pillar and go to the B pillar and C pillar. So we see the black optics package here. It's blacked out the window trim. We have the B pillar here. As you can see, there's no cut there, which means that the door does not move with the pillar, which is an interesting touch there. Goes all the way around the outside here past the C pillar and back up. I really like that they've been including these black optics packages. I think chrome is kind of not as much wanted nowadays. Now we're taking a look at the rear rims. It's the same style that we had in the front. I love that they have the little divots, the little grid pattern. It looks very cool, and also feels kind of nice when you run your finger across of it. Okay, and then we have our rotors in the back, one piston caliper here, RS pads. And these are P0 tires. We'll get to the size in 1 second. These are 285/30/22s, so much wider in the back here. Taking a look at the rear fender, you can see how much this sticks out as well. I'm really happy here that the Audi decided to do this, that they have the front and also the rear fender bulging out, showing how aggressive some manufacturers just do the front instead of the rear. And just another look here, we start off with a side skirt, and again, that arch over here on the back part. No badge or anything else here, but we do have that line that I mentioned way in the beginning that does extend all the way from the front through the mirror all the way here and wraps around, so you can see how it turns. The black on this Audi really doesn't accentuate all the lines, but it does look really nice in person. Just get a better look at the sloped roof down here, sport back look. I really always love to look at these RS7s this way. So we have window here in the back. This can be where our spoiler is right here. It's going to come out depending on how fast we're driving, or we have a button over there to also raise it and lower it. Let's go on the other side here just to see how swooping the curves are and how it kind of swoops in from the outside in towards the back of the trunk. Have a look at the taillights. Nice little pearl effect going on, and again the same sort of slats that we had in the front are here in the rear, which we'll show you when I turn on as well. And a huge red bar that goes all the way across. Kind of the same thing that Porsche has going on with their 911s currently. And we also have our added badge here, blacked out. And this is with the lights on, so it's very cool. It's a nice afterglow effect. You have all the vertical slats lit up, and you also have that large bar all the way across. Just a nice closer look here on what it looks like. And then just to take a step back, and that's what you would see when you'd be driving behind one. Starting off here on the bottom, we have our parking sensors, as well as some lines going across. We're going to have this hexagonal shapes on the bottom, right where our diffuser would be. So if we go down here, we have a reflector. Bottom part here, diffuser with the hexagonal shapes. There's no pass-through, so it's just plastic backing there on the hexagonal shapes, but we do have that echoed all the way through the bottom part and then part of the diffuser. Just a better look. And here we actually have our oval tips, which are our real exhaust, which I'm very happy for. And you can see the valves there. So depending on your driving mode, they open and close, depending on the driving situation. And then just a look at both of them here in the back. And our favorite part, gas cap, press it, opens up, and actually no cap there. So you just put the nozzle right inside, as it shows you there on the graphic, and that's really it. Nowhere to put the cap or anything else. And we're done. Just close it back up, and that's it. And that wraps it up for the exterior in-depth review of the 2021 Audi RS7. We'll also be releasing an in-depth review of the interior of the Audi RS7, so be on the lookout for that. If you guys like this content, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps us out. Hopefully we'll be able to bring more content like this and better makes and models. As for now, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one.